Now it's time for our weekly show and tell, and this one's going to be about getting lucky. Well, maybe not getting lucky, but it's going to be about luck and how luck has presented in our lives. So I'm going to hand it over to Crimson. And Crimson, tell me more. Give me the show and tell scoop on luck in your life.
Well, I was very pushy about putting the show and tell in because I think you and I both struggle finding the things that we got lucky with. Because when you're rooted in hard work and you've built a lot of what you have, it feels like luck doesn't really happen. So I had to really dig deep, but I found hold on. Sorry. Let me get my, I had to dig deep, but I found what I feel most lucky about, which is my house. We had lived in the same house. You remember my old little house for 13 years. It We needed an upgrade. We had another kid. We knew we were going to need an upgrade in terms of square footage and bedrooms. But in Fort Thomas, an upgrade isn't just like one minor hop. It's like you had to double your investment. So it took a long time. We went and looked at a beautiful home and an offer got put in and it sold. We moved on, but then something happened. It fell through. The seller came back and said, if you want it, let's talk about it. Well, at that point, the reality hit me that we could maybe have it. But luck was not on my side when I talked to my financier. And he was like, no, like that's above your limit. So I did something unlike me, which is I just lowballed it. I said, screw it. I want this house. We're in love with it. But these people will be crazy to take this offer. They took it. And I have never had that kind of luck in my life. With that said, there's consequences to luck. There's a great Florence the Machine uh, quote about miracles, and their timing can be inconvenient. And this was one of those moments. So part of the agreement was we had to close in 15 days, which means we had to move 13 years of our life in 15 days. And it was all worth it because what I learned is that this house and this investment, it wasn't just about moving homes and getting a few more square feet. It was that we became in walking distance from everything. We're right by the park. Our kids switched elementary schools. It was a chance for him after COVID to reboot his whole social system. We made a bunch of friends that are now like ride and die people that are part of our village that really lift us and keep us going. And so really, I think after COVID, not many of us felt lucky about much in life. And I really challenged myself, which is what story brought to light something I didn't work towards. And of course, financially, you work towards a house. But what I didn't work towards is what came beyond the financial investment, which is the community that came with the home. As you had mentioned, I was at a lacrosse game until 9:30 last night. But I was there with my community and we were there together and we share the load of practices. And I told my husband the other night, I can't imagine what would have been our lives today had we not we only moved at 1.2 miles from our old house, but it changed our life so much. But the biggest part isn't just the square footage, it's that our house is now the center of our community and it's given us community. It's become a home for everyone. It's kind of the gathering spot because we do have the square footage, which is hard to find in our community. And it's become the first thing in my life that I feel like I unintentionally got. Um, yeah, we worked hard for the money to get the house. We're still working hard to pay for the house. But what we didn't expect and what we got lucky on was the community. And I hope for everyone that
And you
they
just
get the village.
really never know with that sort of stuff. You never know what your neighbors are going to be. It is really like putting yourself out there and seeing what comes back. And I mean, I love the house. The house is beautiful, but you're right. Like the bigger story is the community. That's pretty
Yeah.
freaking cool.
Yeah, and I really just, as life gets harder and kids get older and schedules get harder, um, I just am enormously grateful, and that's our skill, because it is very hard for me to process that kind of luck without thinking something horrible is going to happen. And so I have to lean on gratitude often, and that even if it ends tomorrow, we had it today,
Yeah.
because it's been such a unique and fun chapter of life to have like a community of people to experience raising a kid with. And we have no family really that's involved in our day-to-day lives. And so to have friends that are like sisters that are mostly like aunts to my kids, and to have that is just, I know that I worked towards it and investing in friendships, but it hasn't felt like work, and it's been fun, and it was unexpected. It was built.
Meaningful.
It's been meaningful, and it's been the best part of the parenting experience, outside of the cute cuddles and all of that. Is that by buying a home in a different, the text of one person reaching out and saying, "Hey, come to my party on 4th of July," completely changed the trajectory of the quality of life we have and the support structure we have.
I love that. I aspire for the same thing. I
Yeah,
love
your
that for
kids
you.
aren't in school yet, so I mean,
Oh, they're in school.
not like in
School is school in my life,
school is school in
girl.
your life, but you're not like in it yet. I mean,
No, I mean, like, I have like maybe like 4 more months, and then
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
I'm
first
fully in
grade.
it.
Yeah, you'll be in
Yeah.
it. Yep, that's when you'll start needing that community and finding it.
All right. Well, I love that for you. I think that's great. That's a great show and tell. Mine is much simpler and shorter. In you mentioned conscious coping. Conscious coping, my first book. It is all about my theory of how you can really take care of your mental health by paying attention to how you cope and coping with intention. Go check it out. It is awesome. In the book, I talk about how when I was younger, I was privileged enough to travel a lot with my family. We lived in Asia for a while, and we would take these like long transcontinental flights. And sometimes we would also travel a lot in Asia because that was part of like the experience. It was a great experience. And we would always travel this one specific airline that had this one very specific smelling soap. And in the book, I call it my memory soap. And it's just become this really meaningful thing because I'll find it randomly. I have no idea what the soap is. I only know it by scent. I'll find it randomly. And it's just this like fun, like, it's the memory soap, It brings back a lot of good memories, makes me smile. Even just talking about it makes me smile. And it's soap you will find in so many different places, but you don't find it often. So it really you can find it I found it many different places. But last week I was at an Embassy Suites in Dublin, Ohio. Shout out to the Embassy Suites in Dublin, Ohio. Y'all took such great care of us in the conference there last week.
Beautiful.
And I was about ready to go on and I go to wash my hands and they had memory soap. And I felt really lucky that I had that moment. It was just a really nice moment for me before I went on the stage and before I, did my work. Just a good reminder of like the memories here and the legacy I hope to leave my kids is reminders like these, you know. Um I don't know, just really meant something and I felt really lucky in that moment. It's a really simple thing, but it was a moment where I did feel really lucky.
But that goes so back to the quote, our insight of the week, right? How
Mhm.
it is those micro moments of joy, and it are those, I mean, we talk about triggers, and I think when you hear the word triggers, it's a negative connotation. And it's
Yeah.
not. You can be positively triggered by things like that. I mean, anyone that's had a baby, like smelling a baby's head, it triggers back all of those baby memories,
Yes.
right? So there's
Right.
like almost those universal happy triggers. But stopping and taking note of those fills your cup. To your point, it was preparing you to get on stage. It was a good moment to take a deep breath and to reflect on the good stuff. And I love when things like that happen. You can call it nostalgia, you can call it whatever, but I call it micro joy moments, because it's nice being grounded back to a moment that was positive.
Totally. I mean, I think I kind of am starting to think about it like it's a little bit like a video game, you just collect these things throughout your day. But you have to pay attention, you have to be present, you can't be dysregulated. Like if I was like totally amped up, like negative self-talk spinning out, I mean, I don't think the soap would have I'm not even sure I would have noticed it,
Right.
Like you got to take like but even if I did, I don't think it would have had the same it would still would have brought me some good memories, but I don't think it would have felt as meaningful. So it is those little rewards, those little bonuses along the way. Awesome.
Those are good memories.
Very good memories. Thank you for sharing.